All right, everybody. It is bar fight time.
All right.
Yeah.
We got a very special playoff edition of Tuesday Night Bar Fights. I'm excited. This is right after the nerfs. Nobody knows what's happening, and we have two of the boldest players in THL Hero Series right now, THL Leumer and Disco, going at it right on the same day as nerfs go live for a playoff match. Feels good, man.
Yeah, so we're seeing Leumer bringing Demon Hunter, Paladin, and Warrior versus Disco's Demon Hunter, Warlock, Warrior. And as you can see on the screen, it is a double Warrior ban, to the surprise of absolutely nobody.
Yeah, that one attack on a weapon nerf, I think wisely assessed by both players. That's not really going to make much of a difference. We don't really know what else is going on with the nerfs, so let's just be safe and ban Warrior. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think if you want to let them know they're good to head in, I think we're
let's
about ready.
let them know.
So it will be Disco on the bottom and Leumer on the top.
Just making sure both players have the message. And we should be underway shortly here. Going to be very interesting. I'm not even going to pretend to try to predict what is going to be brought from these classes. Just be excited to see what happens. And I do kind of hope, and I have a little bit of a prediction, that we will be seeing the brand new card.
Man, I really hope so.
Which means the starting game boards, they could be quite relevant.
Yeah. Oh, looks like they're in it. As soon as Disco turns on spectate.
Yeah, I was just double checking that myself.
There we go.
Good man, making sure spectate is off for most of his THL matches, I'm sure. But
Yep.
in this case, we do need it on, so you can come in and watch.
All right, but anyways, we're going to see Disco leading off with the Demon Hunter versus Leumer with the Hunter.
And Leumer looks like a pretty standard set of cards in hand right now. I would imagine that Highlander Hunter, very possible it could be Dragon Hunter. For Disco,
I see a
like
Mana Saber.
Demon Hunter cards, except for, yes, that Mana Saber. Gotta throw it back
there's
to the
a
mulligan.
post-nerf Metamorphosis.
Gets a nerfed card. All right.
Also, what board is this we're
on? This is the Uldum
Feet.
with the feet.
Yeah. So it will have Reborn if we see it show up in this match.
So, a decent card. Maybe Leumer's working with some connection issues, maybe trying to get into Disco's head in some way.
Maybe.
Full roping on turn 1, though. Throws the emote back,
so
we know he's there.
Yeah, man, I think he was just playing mind games, and let me tell you, I love it. But, yeah, so if you do draw it in on this board, it's basically a shot bot, which is a very strong card.
Absolutely is. Totally a reasonable, playable card.
Yeah. So, Leumer in a kind of awkward situation. We're hoping to see the Fairy Dragon, but Disco's board just trades very well into it.
It really does, and holding a Twin Slice as well makes it even easier to clear up a 2-health minion. Looks like Leumer might be falling behind in this match quickly with that opener from Disco, the classic Demon Hunter. Play your 1-drop coin out a sidekick. Give it some health.
Yeah, definitely. Alright. Yep, and there's just the Fairy Dragon.
We do see the Fairy Dragon dropped. What do we see off the top?
I'll take Shadow Weaver. That's not too bad.
A pretty reasonable card to play on turn 3 since he's missing the curve to follow.
Yeah.
For later.
Yeah, you can Frozen Shadow Weaver on 3, Satyr Hero Power on 4. I'd say that's pretty good.
And very nice pickup from Leumer. Doesn't have the biggest priority targets like a Satyr that we know would be coming down most likely on turn 4. There could be a consideration to hold the Scale Rider, although it does pretty cleanly clear up the sidekick and reasonably contest on the board
Yeah,
for follow-ups with Hounds.
Like, you can definitely think about it. I think you kind of have to play it here, though.
Leumer strongly considering the Swabus. Has moused over that a couple of times, debating on whether or not he wants to keep the Scale Rider for the high-value 2 health minions Demon Hunter runs, or just play it now for the maximum tempo. In a board state like this where he's falling behind makes a lot of sense.
I think the biggest question with the Swampoos is, does Disco still run the Warglaves after the nerf? Because if he doesn't, you're fine playing these as a 3-2, but if he does, then you absolutely want to save him.
But also knowing that Disco is holding that second slice,
yeah,
that would have been a consideration for Swampoos. Obviously, we get the answer to the question just now posed. Does he run Warglaves?
He does.
Answer is yes.
Is it cold in the shadows?
Looks like, yep. Going to the place. Oh, there it is. There it is.
The transfer student.
Transfer student with Reborn.
And Leumer is playing a shot bot in his Highlander Hunter.
That seems pretty damn good to me. I don't know about you, Ron.
Hey, that transfer student looks like a beast to me. Why doesn't it have the beast tag? What is this? Blizzard, please buff.
Oh, man.
Another consideration, does he want to try to get back on board as much as possible by playing both of the 2-drops, or is he still going to hold that Swamp Ooze? Looks like he's pretty committed to playing a transfer student here. Gonna just hero power and transfer student?
I think, yeah.
Home is where the wagon is.
Oh, that animation is sick. Oh, I hadn't seen it yet.
And the
That's
voice
incredible.
line, home is where the wagon is.
Yeah.
I like it.
Man. And Disco just has satyrs for days. And I think Leumer is going to need his Zephyrus soon here because Disco's board is going to start getting out of control.
Maybe.
I'm sure Leumer was just upset that this wasn't the Descent of Dragons board, so he could discover a dragon off of that. Or maybe the windmill, so he could get the plague spell. Never lucky, Leumer. Never lucky. And very likely we see one of these 2 satyrs in hand for Disco come down. Probably currently just trying to figure out the best way to deal with the board. He does have the ability to take a value trade with the 2/4, use his hero power, and just straight trade in his 4/3 into the 3/3. Might also want to push damage. Some interesting options. We'll see what he goes with.
Looks like he's going to take out the 3/3, push 4 upstairs.
Choosing to ignore the Reborn minion. Also a pretty reasonable line, even though the Reborn can kill the Satyr. He still gets to push more damage than he would otherwise.
That's not a terrible top deck here.
Hounds in hand, though, with a wide-ish board, makes it seem very likely that Leumer might play Hounds. Wondering if he still holds the Swamp Ooze or wants to maybe combo the Hounds with the Varanus. But Rotnest has some bad hits. Could be very dangerous to play the Rotnest.
I mean, there really isn't, like... I guess it's not great if it hits a 2/2. I think it's not terrible, though.
That is the worst option. A little bit surprised to see Leumer trade first.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Valuable target. But it went reasonably well for him. You know, obviously he would have preferred the Shadow Weaver get the hit from the Rotnest, but at least a 2/1 survived instead of a 2/2 on his side. Disco, second Satyr comes down along with the second slice, going to enable killing the Rotnest Rake with just the Battle Mage and the swing.
And my question is he going to protect the Satyr by making the trade here, or is he just going to go for
I would
Fliers,
expect,
he will?
yeah, I would expect the
Yeah.
Satyr to be protected there. It'd be very strange to leave up the 2 health minion with the 2 attack minion on board. So wisely trades that Shadow Weaver.
I feel like he needs the Hounds here.
Seems very important for Leumer to hound since he could clear everything but
Yeah.
a 2/2. He can also play his Primordial Explorer. We might just see Explorer come down first, see what dragon he finds, and then play hounds.
Yeah, that Explorer pickup made the Hounds very good play.
And some pretty good options, especially versus Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
Draconid is the on-curve play that he can make next turn. Alex is some ways a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Yeah. I think the biggest issue with Alex is it's so slow on the turn you play it. You're not taunting, you're not, dealing with it.
You usually just want it if your opponent is out of gas and made that damage push.
But the nice thing for Leumer is he's still relatively healthy.
And also Disco has, even after a very fast start, kind of slowed down a little bit.
Here's the payoff for
Leumer
holding
with
that
some
swamp boost.
decisions might have wanted to play that Draconid on curve, but too tempting to use that ooze to clear up a strong weapon.
Oh, with that Twin Slice top deck, that's
Altruist in hand.
Really nice that he cleared off got rid of the weapon.
He can't kill the big ol' whelp without taking damage, though, correct?
Yeah,
just barely.
No.
Yeah. Or no, he could Metamorphosis it and trade the 2 to him.
Also, yeah, specifically the Metamorphosis nerf already showing the impact, because a play for Disco easily could have been play Metamorphosis and shoot down the big ol' whelp.
Yeah, definitely.
Which was not an option, and he had to go with this outcome instead. Down to 9
Speaking of
health.
nerfs, here comes
and we see
DQA.
another nerf card off the top.
This is kind of awkward for Leumer. You really want to play the dragon here, but you can't. You really need to clear that Altruist.
Yeah, very dangerous position.
Never hover.
Really nice animal companion hit, actually,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
Leok buffs the Rusher, enabling Altruist to be killed without taking any damage.
Yeah, that 4 damage would have been a big difference. That's the difference between, Metamorphosis being lethal over 2 turns.
And Disco very close to lethal on Leumer, but not quite there. Meanwhile, Leumer extremely close to finishing Disco off in this game.
He's going to have to use a Metamorphosis for board control.
It looks like that Metamorphosis is shooting the Leok because he can't afford to let it live.
Interesting decision to use the hero power instead of playing the Imani Berserker that turn.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to see the Imani instead, because holding Og Merchant would have been a way to go for the lethal himself.
I agree, 100%.
Goes with a little bit
my
more
God.
attack on board.
That's
and Top
game.
Deck Zephyrus, that card
Oh,
is not.
man.
And that card means Leumer can pick his lethal. Goes with the classic Fireball.
It's going to be 1-0 for Leumer.
That ends this game. Disco's Demon Hunter, with its various nerf, has been eliminated, and Leumer's Hunter will stay up.
Wow.
Those are some fireworks in that game.
Definitely. So what do you think the queues are at this point?
And, well, they're jumping right into it before I speculated. I don't know if I would have predicted a Hunter mirror, though. But that's what we're seeing.
Tremble before the might of the elves.
And, alright, well, I believe this is the other Saviors board?
Yes, this is the Windmill board. So the Windmill board means Random Plague Spell.
Very interesting. So I believe there were 5 Plague spells? Plague of Death is the only one that's coming to mind.
There's Murlocs, there's Wrath, there's... what are the other ones? I don't think they get regularly used.
Yeah.
It'd be all the evil classes, though, right?
Yeah.
Is there a rogue plague? Plague of Madness, the one.
Oh yeah, the weapons.
And are there 4 evil classes or 5?
5, I believe, because there's 5 Galakrons, right?
Lemur once again with the turn 1 rope. I don't know why we aren't just seeing a coin fairy dragon since it can't be targeted by a hero power. Lemur may not have been thinking about that and just thinking, oh, that's another 3/2 minion that can be pinged down by this sharpshooter ability. But he might come to regret that since fairy dragon specifically can't be pinged.
What to do?
Plague of Flames.
Oh my goodness. Of course, Plague of Flames, the warlock one that clears.
Yeah.
Right now, what do we see from Lemur on this turn? Maybe he just wanted to save his mana. Maybe now he's reading the fairy dragon text more closely. It's very possible he wanted to just hold the coin for a faster Bran. It didn't want the board presence, and as we can see, Disco with a great turn 1 start, but 2 consecutive turns with nothing to do, and that could be trouble for Disco. Lemur on the other end can easily clear up this minion and develop. Interesting to see which of the 3s he plays. I expect we'd see either Shadow Weaver or Zixer. He has the ability to coin the Bone Wraith. Would strike me as strange, considering he's held the coin already for its best use on turn 1. Most likely, we're looking at a turn 6 coined Bran.
I would assume so, yeah. So what do you do here? Do you just tempo out a Zixor?
I think it's reasonable to do that. It's also, it might be the best play to just play the Shadow Weaver right now. You block the ability of a weapon hitting you if he does have one that he's waiting to play or draws one. You should be pretty certain he's not holding a weapon, though.
It's also just the most tempo.
Yeah, the most attack. And Zixer specifically has Rush, so you can use it for some more application. Disco, finally with a playable card after his turn 1 play. Just going to jam that Bone Wraith immediately. And Lemur has options. He could answer right back with a Bone Wraith of his own. He could play the Zixer. He might want to use that Animal Companion, because if it's Leok again, that gives him 5 attack for a much cleaner trade with that Shadow Weaver. Looking like Zixer here.
Oh no, he's mousing over Animal Companion.
Rethinking it. Pulls the Zixer back. Hey, welcome back to the show, Sage.
That only took way longer than it needed to. Alright, so where are we at? What's the score?
Lemur is up 1-0.
Go ahead, Ted. Yeah.
Yeah, Lemur is up 1-0. He beat Disco's Demon Hunter, and it's a double warrior band.
Alright, it's a double warrior band. Cool.
And we are currently in a Highlander Hunter mirror.
Yeah, and we also got to see our first.
I haven't updated my game, so
Oh.
I'll just be listening to you guys for a minute.
Well, join us when you can. We see Disco playing a big ol' whelp right on curve on his turn 5. May just choose to hold back on the swing with the Bone Wraith. Decides to do so. Lemur now with some amazing options with that draw off the top. Probably wanted to hold coin until Bran, but way too strong.
This is too good.
2 5-health minions on the board to play Dragonbane coin hero power.
What a hit.
And it hits the best target for him. That clears off the big ol' whelp, and a commanding board for Lemur at the moment, with Disco now fighting to get back into it. One of the best ways to get back into it, usually Zephrys.
Yeah. So what does Zephrys give you here?
Well, probably not the play on this turn.
Yeah.
You could always Shadow of Pain, maybe the Dragonbane to get it out of the way, along with a Felmaw, but it's not an ideal play.
No. Looks like he's just gonna look to clear off the Bone Wraith here, maybe?
Instead, a
and the
Hounds
Shadow
and
Weaver?
Zixer that does clear off the Bone Wraith and the Shadow Weaver, but it also enables Leumer fairly easily to push another 7
And the
damage
dragon
guarantee.
top deck is so big here. Turning on the
Varan,
Scale
it's
Rider.
massive to activate Scale Rider, and even though it's off mana and he has 3 drops in his hand, there's no way on an empty board Leumer is not pressing that button and sending damage. And Disco already down to 18 health here, holding an active Bran on turn 7, holding Zephyrus in hand as well. Disco definitely has comeback potential.
I'm assuming we just see the brand here.
You'll find me wherever the action is.
King Crush go face. King Crush no go face.
Alright, now
As
I think if I'm Leumer here, I like just slamming my own brand and pushing 11 face.
a bit dangerous though to leave that 10 damage up. If your opponent is holding Zephyrus and a little bit of burst, he can give that King Crush Wind Fury and straight up kill you.
Yeah, very true. Looks like he's just gonna make a nice trade on another King Crush.
And this is definitely an understandable play. You don't have to slam the brand right now. Leumer playing it a little bit safe. And now Disco goes back on the offensive with his own Dragonbane, hoping to hit the minion.
Oh,
Dragonbane stubbornly goes face. And Disco now presented with some more difficult options for the remainder of the turn. It looks like he just wants to play a Fairy Dragon, reconsiders, and gets the Felma out there.
All right. Who's on the bottom?
Disco's on the bottom.
And
So-
now we see the brand come down for Leumer. Looks like he is going to want to push a lot of face damage here.
I would think so. I think taking your opponent down to 6 is...
The Dragonbane is very pesky and is the only consideration. We saw Disco already trade his King Crush right into that Dragonbane. Does Leumer prioritize the same?
Oh, he's going full trade.
He goes full removal and a wide board, which fairly easily enables Disco to use
That's a top
a
deck.
number of options like his top-decked Zixer Prime, which can clear out quite a bit, or the Zephyrus. Probably the Prime is what we see. He has
Looks
the
like he's
mana
gonna
for
tracking
tracking.
first.
May
Might
just
as
want to
well.
lead with tracking regardless.
Oh,
And the Grand Slam seems like a very good pick this late in the game. Incredible turn 9, 10, 11 setup for Disco with this Zixer Prime into the Grand Slam into Zephyrus. Recognizes at the end there that the Zixer Prime probably should have killed the Sharpshooter instead of Brand, since the Sharpshooter can just ping down the Zixer Prime now. But Leumer with his own interesting options and his own Zephyrus top deck, we are seeing power versus power.
well, I have some good... Sorry.
Would somebody please ask if Disco to
Anyways, I have some good news. Our hat just announced in THL that transfer student will be legal this week. Thank God.
Ooh.
Because it's already been played.
Oh my god. The Zephyrs for what? Exactly?
Earth Elemental?
Earth Elemental seems pretty good here.
Feels so bad overloading myself, but...
Very interesting that Leumer wanted to hero power first before playing the Zephyrus. Obviously wanted a 5 mana option. I suppose he was looking for the Earth Elemental.
Right? He had to have been.
And now...
Oh, my friends list is full. I'm an idiot.
Oh, Sage.
All right.
And now this does kind of frustrate Disco's intended play of the Grand Slam, because the Earth Elemental is quite a pesky minion to be up right now. It may force the Zephyrus right back.
All right, will somebody ask him one more time?
What to do.
Because he might have accepted it, and yeah. Please, thank you. Love you guys.
And Disco just gonna rip that in a Grand Slam anyway. YOLO in a Grand Slam. And
Oh my god!
they all ignore the taunt. Incredible.
Incredible.
That was
Wow.
ridiculous.
Well said, Hunter Hero, Illyria. Incredible indeed. And that can't have been what Leumer wanted to see. He is now in
Oh.
quite a bit of trouble.
No, that's real scary. He could be. He's staring down lethal on board for sure. He really needs to find something like a dragon. We need something to bring him out of this. That overload off the Earth Elemental is really not doing him any favors this turn. There's not a whole lot that he can do here. He's looking for a dragon, but there's nothing that's really going to help him out.
Yeah, and that ain't it. So now this should
This
end the
looks
game.
like it's Disco's game. Yeah.
There's really nothing. As we can see, Disco is holding Zephyrus. So this is game over, no matter what Leumer does with the remainder of his turn and his mana. It's also just lethal on board, which Leumer recognizes. And
Well,
that is Lemur's Hunter eliminated. We are on to game 3. Disco's Highlander Hunter will stay up, and Leumer will now have the option of choosing between his remaining non-banned classes, a Paladin and a Demon Hunter.
I think I like the.
I think we
Demon
most
Hunter
likely
too?
see the Paladin.
Oh, really?
Paladin frequently does well into Hunter, especially if it is something like a Murloc Paladin.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Nerfs aside,
Oh,
I see.
hold
the
on.
transfer
Fine.
student.
All right, hold on. What board are we on? This is. What is this?
This is Stringlethorn. It's stealth and poisonous.
Wanderer.
no, this isn't Stranglethorn, is it?
This is Stringlethorn.
Oh, you're absolutely right. It even says it on there. Stealth and poisonous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Stringlethorn has the waterfall in the bottom left and the ruins in the top right, the vines. And did you know that you can click on the vines and make them snap?
Yes.
Nice.
And if you click on the
Leumer
face above them,
Staying
it'll
on
light up the
brand
eyes.
here for his strategy in every game by always roping the first turn. I don't know if that's a specific plan to tilt Disco, but intriguing nonetheless.
I was gonna say,
And we're gonna see a 2/2 stealth poisonous. Seems pretty strong.
Sage, I just want to let you know I did just demonstrate that for the stream. The vines in the top
Nice.
right. You're welcome.
All right, Disco, not the favorite follow-up to a coin Felma, but still a reasonable opener nonetheless. We
He
can clearly see
could-
Leumer does have the Murloc Paladin here, which is slightly
Yeah,
favored.
He could go wide with more Murlocs and then put the poison. He would have 2 poisonous minions, and if that wakes up and punches one, then it's just dead, and it's
Yeah.
kind of
Right.
wasted potential.
Interesting,
He
he
decides
does
to
go
hold
with
it
the
back, and it does punch the minion that
Oh,
might have
yeah.
wanted to give poisonous to.
definitely.
So unfortunate outcome for Leumer. Disco probably just hoping Face Ma went face anyway. Not paying attention to that either. Scale Rider really wants to target the stealth. Can't do it. Gotta clear off the other minion.
Ooh.
And oh man, if Consecration had been buffed, this would be insane. Of course, it has not been buffed, so it would leave both minions at 1 health. Leumer wisely choosing to instead clear off both minions. And if this Murloc sticks, it's actually got a really strong follow-up with the Toxfin.
Yeah. I would just like to say breaking news from RonMexico: Consecration's not been changed. More at 11.
Disco would have been very punished if he had played the Feywing there with this Toxfin play. Toxfin's still good against a Bone Wraith, but
I
definitely
think you
works
just
out.
go with the weapon here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just going to use all of his mana, it looks like. Leumer holding back the Grim Scale until after the swing. Very technically correct, just to see if you get a better option. That's a good one. A random Murger McGurgle. And Disco with some interesting options on his end here. Wants to play the Stormhammer, considering a few other outcomes. What to do indeed.
Yep. What to do? What to do?
Quite a few options with Corrosive Breath or Scavenger's Ingenuity. Holding the Diving Griffin, we can find out if Disco runs multiple beasts or if that Scavenger's would be a guaranteed pull of Zixer, which feels quite strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really wants to play the Stormhammer. He's going to get that online, and it looks like this is just a full clear.
Seems pretty reasonable to me. And Leumer's starting to run out of gas here.
Against a Murloc Paladin, that's often what you want to do. Just deny them boards so they can't snowball the game on you. Leumer with a decent pickup, though. He can always just play the Tide Collar and give it Divine Shield. Looks like that's the plan.
Does he want to do that, or does he just want to go wild
possibly
with Murlocs?
reconsidering because of the charge Murloc?
Yeah, looks like he is just going to end up doing that play.
Oh wow,
Ooh,
that's
Bran.
another big pickup for Disco with a Bran that can be played on curve. And at this point, we might just see Disco start to ignore the board and go face. He can push 5 here.
He's not ignoring the board though. Oh my goodness.
The weapon does have essentially unlimited swings at the moment, though, and that Tide Collar can snowball, so reasonable to also decide he wants to just clear that Divine Shield out. Leumer going in with essentially all of his remaining resources, just a Consecration held back, and gets to push quite a bit of damage.
That's a really good push. That's looking really dicey for Disco at the moment.
Yeah, Disco really doesn't have an answer.
And Disco, I'm still curious why the Scavenger's Ingenuity was being held, but now has a great... Unfortunate he didn't take the opportunity to play the Zixer here and trade it and then play Scavengers to get a buffed Prime right away for turn 8.
I don't think he would have been able to do that, would he?
Yeah, if he traded it into the Tide Collar.
He didn't have enough mana.
Yeah.
Well, now he doesn't because he played the Griffin.
No, he wouldn't have.
I'm saying you play Zixer, you trade it into the Tide Collar, then you play Scavenger's Ingenuity,
But
and
he
your turn
would've-
8 is coming up.
He pulled the Zixer off of the Griffin.
Yeah, he had to play the Griffin.
Oh, right. My bad.
Ron, you're off the show next season. Anyways.
No, I definitely understand what you're saying. It was just one mana off. That would have been the play if he had the mana.
Definitely. And yeah, looks like we're going to see a conk here to just do 2 damage to the minion. Though 2 damage to the base is not irrelevant either.
This is just a lot of damage, and Disco's really on the ropes.
Sets up lethal. Yeah. I'm not sure how Disco actually makes it out of this. He
I
doesn't
think
have
he
very many
needs
ways to address this board.
I mean,
And-
he can brandy to the 5/6, and at that point he's on 1.
Yeah, he's at 1.
It looks like that
Be at
has
1.
to be the play.
Yeah, there's no other
I think that
no
is-
other option.
That's it.
And then I think you do weapon into one of the minions.
I think
It
you
would
have
make
to.
sense to clear
Or
the
is he
cold
going?
He's
blood
just gonna
here.
punch the face.
Oh
I
man!
love it.
Just go in face. Yeah, I mean, this gives
Oh
him
my
a
god, there's
chance.
another one. The second transfer student.
Second transfer
What? Oh
student.
my god, that has stealth. Leumer can't clear
The
it.
stealth
That's
sets up
huge.
lethal.
Well, no,
It does.
no. Disco does fire back with an Alex here, though.
But yeah, Disco holding an Alex Straza, which is going to be massive
Oh
here.
my god. He could Alex his own face in that.
Getting the heal from 1
Oh man.
all the way up to 15 with the
Oh
Discover
my
from
God.
Primordial Explorer. And
One
Leumer
health matters.
throwing
One
out
health
that emote
matters.
right there. absolutely shocked to see what a turnaround in this game. And yeah, there's really nothing to do but just keep pushing face if you're Lemur, if you're Disco at this point.
Yeah. And I think Leumer needs to get that McGurgle Prime into his deck ASAP, because he needs to draw it like next turn.
Yeah, and he's holding what, 7 or sorry, yeah, exactly 7 damage on board at the moment.
Yeah.
So he just has to kill the 8 health minions, or 8 attack minions, because otherwise he'd be dead. We'll probably push face at the cold light and hope that he finds a good top deck.
If you're Disco here, you just jam the Negrand, right?
I think you do.
The Grand Slam went all face basically last game, right? And it won him the game.
Yeah.
He's just going to do it again.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, like, either it goes all face or it clears the board.
Or it clears everything up, yeah.
I
And
think
anything
there's
in
one-
between, any
there's
half
one
damage is
phase.
still quite
There's
good.
two
That's it.
Oh, that's
And then the
Disco
Grand
takes the
Slam
2,
coming through.
1 lead.
Wow.
And Lemur's
Disco
Paladin will go down.
Picking up a thrilling victory, grabbing victory from the jaws of defeat in a 1 health survival win over Lemur's Murloc Paladin, which is also now eliminated.
I did not see that happening. I saw the Murlocs taking it there, and then just like he missed that. I guess he must have missed 1 damage somewhere. He's probably gonna kick himself in the butt about later. And that 1 damage.
It did, and games like this, a lot of times, any one little bit of damage that you miss can decide the outcome. And now Lemur back against the wall with his final class, the Demon Hunter.
Very interesting. We see a Soul Cleave for Lemur here. This might be a more control list.
It definitely looks like it most likely is. You know, given that inclusion. Also, I-Beam has lately fallen out of style in a Demon Hunter lists, so even more suggesting that it could be controlled. If Lemur gets the win here, we're going to be seeing Disco's Warlock last. But first, Lemur has to beat this Hunter that has been Negrand slamming him into the ground.
I'm just
My card
wondering.
is such a crappy animation.
I'm just wondering if there is a transfer student in this deck as well.
I hope so.
I
can
really
only
hope so.
It would once again be stealth poisonous.
Yeah.
If it is. Disco, very straightforward play with a Felma on 2. And that's Warblades. Even more likely, along with that Spectral Sight, this is almost certainly a controlled Demon Hunter list here. Yeah,
Oh, the Moarg.
if it wasn't already a dead giveaway. I have not seen this matchup very much, so I don't know which deck actually generally is considered to be the favorite here. But Disco has quite a fast start.
Plus,
Lemur
you,
with all of the healing, though.
you have to keep in mind that is all out the window too with the nerfs happening.
Also true. We most likely see a Warblades get equipped here and just punch down the Battle Mage.
I would think so. Is the Moarg Enforcer standard in this list?
I'm not sure.
Face swap finally going face.
Just needed a clear board to do
Yeah.
it. What an incredibly good clear with the Moarg Coin Soul Cleave set up for Lemur if he chooses so. Would exactly clear the minions. It looks like that's the plan.
And the lifesteal as well.
Yes, that's going to be just a full heal right back up. And
That's a
the
good
board is
turn.
clear, and Disco now struggling for more pressure.
This is looking like a pretty commanding start from Lemur here.
Definitely.
He's definitely in a position that he wants to be in, and Disco is just going to pressure the face and try to work Lemur back down.
Yeah, absolutely. Having all the
I don't-
answers.
I
This
don't know
looks
why he
like
took that monk, though.
probably a Horde Pillager turn would be the least awkward thing that Lemur could do at the moment. With the hero
Yeah.
power, swing face, and just get the weapon right back. It does feel a bit awkward going into a Warglave's turn. So he may be hesitant on that. You could also just play the Spectral Sight for a draw 1. Not terrible. Anytime you can get Metamorphosis online doesn't feel too bad as well. Still some reasonable options.
I mean, it's
You kind of probably have to feel bad for Disco, though, because he doesn't have any super great ways to remove this Mohawk. If he tries to do the same thing he did last turn, where he just punches it and runs the Rusher in, it still doesn't kill it.
you can always
True.
use the Zixor.
Right, from
Oh.
Lemur's perspective, Disco may not have a
Yeah.
great answer, but we do see that Disco is holding the Zixor, which at least should deal with one Moarg. And it looks like Lemur probably wants to just play Warglaves on 6, so he's gonna swing this weapon.
I think that's a pretty solid game plan.
And there it is, the Zixor. A Scavenger's Ingenuity could pull a Griffin. Disco does not want to use his mana that way, just gonna send a little bit of the damage to the hero power instead. And almost certainly Warglaves, given the setup.
Yeah, definitely. Plus
Maybe
Warglaves is-
debating on whether he clears both minions or just one.
I think I like only playing one. I'm not too afraid of him on one.
And yeah, Lemur definitely agrees. Just gonna clear out the Zixor and send a little bit of damage face. Holding 8 over 2 turns with just the hero power. Big ol' whelp. Already out of range of Metamorphosis.
Oh,
Nerf
yeah,
relevant
that's-
once again.
Not the
Definitely
giant one,
wanted to
we'll say.
see the Zixor off of that, and not the Griffin.
Yeah. Yeah, Disco whiffed on the 50-50 on Scavengers and pulls a Griffin. The Griffin will actually give him, potentially, the Zixor Prime. He may be running a Faceless Corruptor in this list. So
Yeah.
it's not a guarantee either, I would expect. Lemur with 2 I-Beams has a fairly easy way to clear up this big ol' whelp if he wants to. Might
Looks
want
like he
to
will
just
go
go
with it.
Moarg instead. And must be planning the Spectral Sight with a hero power.
I would assume so?
Or just really doesn't feel the need to use the hero power still.
And he hits the 50-50. Gets the weapon
Yeah,
he's
that
looking
was
for.
definitely the weapon he wanted to see from Horde Pillager. Still puts a reasonable board up as well, with card draw, card generation, and more lifesteal in hand. Lemur looks to be in a very strong position. On the reverse for Disco, options to stall, but nothing really pressure-wise that helps much. Dragonbane is a potential option, but getting pretty low on life. Needs to take initiative back. Probably the best choice to hope for the Zixor Prime draw, which he does get. The Griffin can survive the board with the trade on the Moarg. He can swing face of the weapon and use a Rusher and a 1/1 to kill the Horde Pillager. Looks like that's the plan. Very nicely executed by Disco.
The question is, what is Lemur? Oh, that's a good draw.
And Lemur's got to be extremely close to lethal at this point.
7,
Gonna lead the card
11.
draw.
Oh.
Zephyr's not active yet, but will be probably fairly soon.
Yeah, I like the scoundrel here.
Going with the Scoundrel, it also discounts the
God.
I-Beam.
Another.
Oh my
Another
slice.
twin
God, that's
slice
so
is
much damage.
massive.
Oh my god, that's 8 damage, 8, 11.
That's going to be lethal
That's
over
just-
2 turns.
That's lethal over 2 turns, yeah.
I think you're just gonna I-beam
I
the
think as long
6th
as he
one.
gets the hero power in right now, he's got it next turn.
Yeah.
The bone
I
rate's
think
coming
you
down
even
next
go
turn.
mana efficient and just use a twin slice charge now along with the shot.
I think so.
And yeah, Lemur's going to be sending a lot of damage Disco's way. And that is easily a setup for lethal. Disco holding his Zixer Prime usually feels
What a
great.
top
Knows
deck.
he's absolutely
God.
dead if he plays it. Incredible top deck to stall the lethal. But with Lemur at 27 health, that's
I
really
think
all it does is
I think you
stall.
need to go Dragonbane here, right? Wait, no, yeah, you need the taunt suit on this die.
Just going wide with
Yeah.
taunts, but Lemur's also holding a Chaos Nova, which means this isn't really going to do much either.
More
And an
AoE.
Immolation Aura off the top, that should be a full clear. Yeah, I think that guy dies no matter what.
Yeah.
So really should be... I mean, if you don't want to punch in first, then you're playing Immolation Aura first, probably.
Well, can you even clear if you play Immolation Aura first?
It would have... Oh no, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think that works at all.
No. So, good line from Leumer.
So I think on
Actually
this
playing the board.
next turn, Disco's only hope. Oh,
Really surprised he didn't use that
What?
Chaos Nova right here just to take the power off the board. Might have actually opened up a way to lose. As we can see, there really isn't one still. He's just going to win here because Disco's Highlander deck does not run 2 Frozen Shadow Weavers, which is basically
Yeah.
the only way Disco can win. Lemur did really risk a lot of damage, but he had enough life. It's not going to make the difference. And Lemur will pick up the win to send
Oh, and
us to
he
game 5.
gets the silence as well.
Silence off the top just for fun. Had the setup already. A little surprised that he risked the damage, but it ultimately didn't matter. Lemur picking up a strong Game 4 victory. And here it is, the best words in Hearthstone.
Game 5.
And we're going to see Disco's Warlock up against Lemur's Control Demon Hunter.
Oh man, this should
This
be a
is
really
an
good match.
interesting matchup. What kind of warlock I think it's Seedlock or Quest? I really like Quest, but it's too easy to counter. And we see that
It could
in
also
the
be
Quest
Galakron.
warlock.
It is Quest.
Let's have some fun.
So
think-
2 somewhat control-y styles.
Yeah, I would think that the Quest warlock should probably take it here if Lemur's Demon Hunter can't get the big giant burst turn that it's looking for early enough.
Yeah, this will be interesting. I can see this match going either way. A lot of it will also hinge on how quickly Disco is able to activate his quest.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's looking for card draw. He's looking for plot twist, specifically, definitely plot twist.
Yeah.
He's looking for sense demons.
We're looking for the Questing Explorer as well.
And once
Yeah,
again,
looking for
Leumer true to form in 5 straight games with a rope on turn 1.
Oh man.
Well, give the man a break. I think he's thinking about what he wants, what he expects his opponent will be. Oh, that's kind of goofy. Like
That was
why did
extremely weird. We know that card was Broodmother,
yeah, we know
right?
it's a Broodmother,
But it's
not showing it for us. It's
not
showing us the
visible.
card back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen this happen once before.
This is so goofy.
Yeah.
Good job, Blizzard.
I'm glad that it had the effect, actually, because otherwise I'd be really tilted trying to figure out what is this card.
I've seen this happen once before, and I'm pretty sure the next card he's gonna draw is gonna be face up.
Okay,
We'll
let's hope.
see. We'll have to see.
Straightforward turn from Lemur. Send damage, draw
Yep.
card. It is a face-up card.
Yep.
Next one face-up. Oh, good.
Yep. It's
Mag,
And
Theridon.
Oh
there's
my
the
gosh.
big boy Magtheridon. One of the
Get a
ways
cast
that
over
this
off of
deck
this.
just finds
Oh.
wins.
there's a skull.
Oh,
Also,
Immolation
second
Aura. He could go
Immolation
Mag
Aura.
Theridon.
Yep.
He could go. Yeah, he could go McTheridan into Immolation Aura and clear the board. And no, he goes for the skull.
Skulls.
Wants
yes.
the card draw. In fairness, he does have a lot of cheaper cards to the left, so Skull is a lot easier than it often is in a deck like this to move to the left to make it Outcast. A top deck Outcast draw card, you better believe Lemur's casting that immediately. And finds a Chaos Strike. More card draw. Everything he wants to see. On Disco's side, really primarily wants to find the plot twist, which he is not holding yet. Just gonna have to play a Dark Skies. This isn't really the matchup where Dark Skies is all that relevant, since he knows this is a control Demon Hunter.
I would think if you're Lemur here, you want to play McTheridan and then just equip the Warglaves and kill all the 1/3s next turn, wouldn't you?
That is absolutely the setup that he has. It looks like the way to go. Play Magtheridon, 1 mana off curve. You can even play a Twin Slice or Hero Power if you choose to. Is he thinking about punching into one of these? Or, well, he might have, but obviously he used the attack. There could have been a way to try to set up a different Immolation Aura hit. But most likely, we just see Warglaves take out these 3/1/3s. On Disco's side, he has a way to block that with the Coin Summoner. Looks like that's the play he wants to make.
He's going to send a little bit of damage here with these 1/3s.
And did we get a disconnect? Because I don't see any more mana, but I don't see the card being played at all.
Alright, good. I'm glad that wasn't only me. I'm gonna try disconnecting. Or leaving spectate.
Maybe we have some spectator bug going on.
Yeah, it's
I
already
see
on
Lemur.
Lemur's turn now.
I'm going to leave and rejoin.
Alright, I'm loading back in right now.
Small indie company. Struggling to make it in this big world. Competitive
Yeah.
companies with far more resources. Oh, so Disco did not play the Summoner. He
Yeah,
played
he played the Bird Mother. Very interesting.
I don't know that I agree.
And now, well, I'm spectating Disco, but all of his cards are
Oh my god.
What an insane hit off of that Blade Dance. Hits the 3 perfect options. Granted, it was a guarantee regardless. He would have just had to smack into the...
Oh!
On Keladan, what a clear for Magtheridon, getting the threat out of the way.
That was a hell of a top deck. Was that a top deck?
No, it was not.
Sorry, I'm a little confused because when I last saw his hand, I didn't think.
Okay, you're good. No, but if it would have been a top deck, he wouldn't have had to target.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I'm currently working my way through the spectate bug as well right now.
Alright. Well, good news is I am able to see both hands. So that means this shouldn't count.
As am I.
So really, it's you just use fucking wrong.
It's just you. Yep. As usual. There's another Broodmother, face down.
Oh.
Alright, I'm back online.
And
I think Hearthstone's having a stroke right now.
So, Disco.
now we see the Summoner.
Getting the
Summoner.
Summoner.
Something to talk about turn 7. He only has 8 procs on his quest.
Yeah, really
Not what you want to see at all.
plot twist and just not finding it.
Uh,
And on Lemur's side,
and
he's holding
drawn,
quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, Disco's drawn one Morg and both Broodmothers, so he only has one Morg left in his deck. The Sense Demons only draws 1 card at this point in time. That's not really what you want to do with your Sense Demons. So Plot Twist is the only card that he really wants to draw at all now. But from what we can tell, it looks like he's not feeling too bad about where he's at. Looks like Leumer if he wants to remove this 8/8, he's gonna have to Immolation Aura and use something else on top of it.
Maybe. Treasure?
The Horde Pillager gives him a weapon along with
Enough time.
Twin Slices. Second Slice, Twin Slice.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter what he charges up, because just that is enough to kill the minion. I'm surprised he didn't press the button and heal for one more. Looks like the emote acknowledges he just missed one. Probably won't be relevant in this game.
And now the Sense Demons draws literally nothing.
Yeah, and Disco just really digging for that plot twist and not finding it. He does have a way to gain quite a bit of health here just to get back on track if he wants to play a Moarg and a Nether Breath. He could even double Moarg and Nether Breath, and that would heal him full.
Yeah, that would heal him to full, but that's kind of a waste of a Moarg.
Just gonna get another taunt in the way, which can be quite dangerous because Demon Hunter frequently has ways to get through taunts, such as Warglave's Twin Slice. Perhaps we see a single Nether Breath get played here? No? Going with the Broodmother.
Oh, I've got another spectator bug happening.
Yeah.
And the Consume Magic for Leumer means he's going to get to push a lot of damage if he wants to.
Sorry, stream, but small indie company.
Going with the Skull, I can see the hands now, so he draws 0 mana Blade Dance, 0 mana Twin Slice, and 0 mana Eldrachi Warblades.
Ooh.
And it looks like he wants to send some damage face. Doing some quick math, he doesn't have lethal yet, but he's getting
He is damn
closer
close. And without
closer.
the Broodmothers, without the Broodmothers, then he will have to probably play both Moargs and Nether Breath that 4/2.
Yeah, I mean, he does have double Moarg and double Nether Breath, so he's not going to have a problem healing back to full.
Here we see a little bit of a game of chicken, which is how much damage do you push to try to play around the massive heal burst?
Yeah, well, but so you want to push enough damage to force them to heal, right?
And yeah, I think Leumer playing it very wisely here by holding back all the cards, trying to force the heal, because if the heal doesn't get played right now, then he's just going to have lethal.
Oh,
Finally finding a plot twist for Disco. Does
that could be bad for Disco.
On 10 health. He is almost certainly dead if he doesn't play the Moarg Nether Breath.
He's
actually a bit surprised to see the second questing because it denies the ability to go double Moarg here. And he might not get enough heal from this.
I mean, he's going to heal 8 here. And then he leaves up the second Moarg and Nether Breath for next turn, so he can heal
going up
8.
to 18. Leumer draws a Chaos Nova off the top.
Chaos Nova is really good here. It clears everything.
Because Disco has the Moarg, yeah, the Chaos Nova actually does 8 to everything, which is a very easy clear. Leumer just wants to play a Warglaves instead.
Very interesting.
Might be thinking he can just use the I-Beam to kill the Broodmother, which represents the highest attack and threat.
Well, as long as he doesn't play any
damage.
minions.
Going with the Blade Dance, because that's 6 damage to 3 targets. Kills everything but the Moarg. He could also just I-Beam the Moarg here. And again, go to full health and push damage. Can also just kill it with a hero power and a swing. Has options for the Twin Slices. Is this the time to play them? Chooses not to.
I think now
Disco
is plot twist.
At 14, knowing he's going to complete his quest with this plot twist, definitely wants to just play it right away. Get those 0 mana cards, see if he can find his own win condition to get in this game. It also
do you
can
think there's any merit in playing Sense Demons there in order to get more cards in your hand to shuffle more and draw more?
He had already drawn all of the demons, so it was
Well, Well, I mean,
Pointless card.
you would have gotten the worthless Sims.
That's what I'm saying. He would have drawn more.
Oh.
He would have
Yeah.
drawn more. Because of the
I mean, like, I feel like you don't want.
the ooze.
I feel like you don't want to do that just because hitting a worthless imp off of your hero power is so bad.
Now he plays the Sense Demons because he knew the Moarg went back into his deck, so he can
Yeah.
draw that again. He also gets the Worthless Imp, which technically isn't worthless, with 1 mana as a 1/1, with 1 mana remaining.
Very nice.
Leumer, again, probably doing some calculations for lethal. We know he's holding 2 Twin Slices, which represent 8 damage on their own. A War Blades for another 2 is 10. A hero power would be 11. War Glaives, if you wanted to do that, is just 1 more damage than War Blades and much more mana. So still not lethal yet, but extremely close. Considering War Blades, considering an I-Beam, a lot of decisions to make here. Only 8 cards left, so Zephyrus will be active very soon for Leumer. Chooses to go with the I-Beam, clear off the most damage on board, and just going to send more Fates, still holding back the Twin Slices, just pushing incremental damage to try to set up a lethal again. And Disco, once again,
That's a nice
basically
card.
forced to heal, or he's going to lose.
Oh my god.
A 0 mana active Zephyrus is very nice, though, as is a 0 mana Nether Breath in hand.
And this taunt should get him out of harm's way, right?
The threat of War Glaives
Yeah.
is so present that, honestly, if you play just the taunt, you could easily be dead. It's going to go for draw with the Mortal Coil. If Disco decides to end his turn here, I think that's lethal. Glaives equipped.
I'm
3,
wondering
4,
if
5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
I'm
10,
won-
11.
I'm wondering because this goes at 11.
That's
If he would have played the
That's it. That
Zephyrus,
does it. That does it. If he plays War Glaives, Twin Slice, Twin Slice, Twin Slice, Second Slice, right?
Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9 mana required for that play. So Leumer has lethal through this taunt if he equips that War Glaives.
I'm
Keeps
just
mousing the Moarg. He might be counting.
I'm just wondering if Disco would have played the Zeph there with the imp on the board. Would it have ever given him side packs?
Very possibly. That's an interesting.
Oh, I think he sees it.
But Leumer, he did the counting. He sees the lethal. He's going for it, and we see that Disco holding a 0 mana Nether Breath, a Moarg, and a Zephyrus for 0 took a little bit too much of a chance by just playing that taunt, and is going to get punished with just barely over lethal.
And ladies and
for a
gentlemen,
big Game 5 win.
Double Heat
Wow.
Spies at Flies. Spies at Flies taking a 4-2 lead.
And the top team in Hero, once again, getting on the board early in their first match. Congratulations to Leumer with a thrilling win. And since he was just on our show, I'm sure he is probably still around for an interview. We're reaching out and seeing if we can get him on in here.
All right, yeah.
There he is.
All right, welcome back, Leumer. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you so much.
All right, I think my first question is, how does it feel to know that you set me back above a coin flip with that one?
Oh, let's go. That feels great. Above 50%.
Yeah.
That's like a positive win rate. You'll hit legend eventually.
Nice. But yeah, that was
boy.
an entertaining series. The Grand Slams were pretty crazy.
Those were the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. The one that smacked me all in the face instead of hitting the like huge taunt I had in the way, I was like, oh boy, this is not going well.
The discovered Alex to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, going from 1 to 15
And the best
health.
part was that the board mattered there because it had stealth. So
Yeah.
Alex was the only way that he lived. Like Alex or Zephyrus and Heal was the only way that he lived.
Actually, I think he did have a Grand Slam in his hand at that point too.
Oh, did he?
Right?
Okay.
So technically,
Was he on?
could have
Was he on
played
10 mana or 9 though?
Oh no, he was on 9. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
he couldn't have played in a Grand Slam.
That's true.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and then finally in that last game, we noticed you kept mousing over the Moarg. We were like, oh no, does he see it? Does he see the lethal? And you did enough counting right at the end of game 5 to find it with the Warglaives right through the taunt.
So the best thing was I had that counted for like 7 turns, and he healed himself with the Nether Breath Moarg. And I was like, all right, I just have to wait for my opportunity. And the last play where I played Eldrachi instead of the other one was because I didn't want it to get oozed, and I didn't want to put him low enough that he thought he'd have to Alex.
So you thought he was double?
I thought if he had the 0 mana Alex off of his hero power, that I wanted to set him to a life total where if he Alexed, he would be tempted to do it to me and not to him. But still in lethal range.
Setup. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was a lot of thinking that went into that last game. That last game was incredibly good.
It definitely paid off for you. What was unfortunate on Disco's side, we actually saw that he did have the means to get out of lethal range again, holding a 0 mana active Zephyrus, a 0 mana second Nether Breath, and a Moarg in hand, but chose the taunt in the hopes that you didn't have the second Warglaives as a way
so
to
if I would have
through
played the Warglaives there, he would have definitely taken the out to heal.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right, so playing the War Blades to hold back on the telegraphed Warglaives kill absolutely paid off big for you, and coming up with a huge win for Spies in match 1 of this series.
Yeah.
That was probably no offense, Sage. That was the most anxious I've ever been in Team Hearthstone ever. I lost in the championship, and I wasn't as anxious as that.
I don't take any offense. It's okay.
Oh boy.
And also, yeah, that's good because if from this point, if all the matches go the same way they did when you first played NPH, then you guys will take this week.
That's the hope. We just got to push ahead, keep our heads in the game. I'm confident that everyone on my team will put on a fantastic, fantastic showing. And I'm hoping that a lot of them are on stream because I'd love to root them on.
Yeah.
We are too.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh boy. I need a cold shower.
All right, but yeah, anyways, I believe that is about all the time we have for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight and watching.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That was a lot of fun.
absolutely. Congratulations
really
again,
great
Leumer.
night.
Best of luck to your team going forward, and thanks everyone for tuning in for
Yeah.
another thrilling bar fight
And,
following Salute.
Just real quickly, I'm gonna do the good old shout out our other shows that we have. Tomorrow night, of course, we have Hearth Center with Dawn Day, Lotus Night, Mako. Thursday, we have Tavern Talk with what is it? Ducharmo, JR, Ron, and Brushy. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Yes, finally. It's coming down to the end, but I finally got it. And then, of course, we have Friday Night Fights with Saku and his crew. Saturday Showdown with Dawn Day and whoever decides to jump on and keep him company. Sunday with Sunday Showdown with Saku and his crew. And we have either Saturday or Sunday Schoolstone, whichever day they find a match for. Of course, always keep your eyes posted on the Discord to see when exactly those matches will be played on those nights. And anyways, yeah, at that point, we'll be getting back to Tuesday for our finals preview show. So make sure you tune in for that, as well as all of our other shows.
Can't wait.
But anyways, thanks again for everybody showing up tonight. I've been Ted.
Yeah. I've been Sage.
And I'm RonMexico.
And we will see you all tomorrow night.
Have
See
a
you
great
guys.
night, everyone.